Today we are going to talk about Oklahoma linebackers coach Tim Kish's retirement and what that could mean for Oklahoma's defensive staff changes. And all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Considering the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. So it's OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today we are going to talk about linebacker coaches Tim Kish's retirement and what that means for Oklahoma's defensive staff changes. Now, for those of you that don't know, Tim Kish was the linebackers coach at OU, 43 years in coaching, came over with Mike Stoops when he became the defense coordinator at Oklahoma once again, stayed on through Lincoln Riley's first 2 years on the job. And you could say that the reviews were mixed, but what you know is that Kenneth Murray Jr. had 155 tackles last year, and Curtis Bolton emerged as the heart and soul of the defense and really took a job away from a five-star linebacker in Caleb Kelly, so much so that Caleb Kelly went out of his way mid-season to say, Buzzy just beat me for the job. And that is the kind of coach that Tim Kish is and the kind of guy that they wanted to play for. And with his recruitment of guys like Jonathan Perkins in the 2019 class and Deshaun White in the 2018 class, you can see how he was beginning to make his mark on what the defense does and how it does it. Now, with Alex Grinch coming on soon as Friday, which was yesterday, you could say that he wanted to put his own staff together, but I think a part of this was some of the guys were already going to stay on and others were going to leave. And perhaps Tim Kish was always thinking about retiring. If you listen to the Young and Drum podcast, you could hear my partner, Brandon Drum, was saying, hey, I've heard this. This is a thing that could happen. Also said, don't know exactly when it could happen. Could be tomorrow. It could be next year. Turns out it was. Literally less than 24 hours after the podcast, Tim Kish posted a note to Twitter where he said, hey, I'm done. I've had a good run. I'm very excited about what's to come for me and for Oklahoma and its staff. Now, with that job opening up, there are a couple of candidates I think you should be looking at, but keep in mind that a guy like Bob Diaco might also be in the mix to keep his job or to do something else entirely, because no matter what you think about Diaco, he does have defensive coordinator chops, and he was brought in to help with the 3-4 defense and the implementation of some certain principles that they like and would probably want to continue to use with Grinch as defense coordinator, knowing that that's a scheme that he enjoys and one that he knows how to work within. However, there are a couple guys that work with Alex Grinch that bear mentioning. One of them you heard me talk about earlier in another video is Roy Manning. Loved his energy, loved his presence. I think that the guy could be a winner in recruiting, especially given the recruiting apparatus around Oklahoma. Has served with Grinch at Washington State, is at UCLA right now. There's no reason to believe that he would not be in the running for this. And I really would like to see somebody come in from the outside that Grinch is familiar with to try to help him shape the culture around the defensive staff. Another guy to keep your eye on is an Oklahoma native and really the 1999 Player of the Year, Brian Odom. Brian Odom is the brother of Missouri head coach Barry Odom. And this guy was basically raised in a weight room. He did time at Arizona with Mike Stoops on the football performance staff there. He served as a strength and conditioning coach for the bulk of his career, became a linebackers coach at Washington State under Alex Grinch. And the reason that Grinch liked him was because he knows what most of us know about strength coaches. I, side note, wanted to be a strength coach in high school. One of my degrees is in exercise in sports science from the University of Tulsa, and the reason that I ended up there was for a guy named Sean Griswold, who was the head strength and conditioning coach at the University of Tulsa, and later Grant Vandermeer, who moved on to Cal State Fullerton. I wanted my strength and conditioning certification. I got it, CSCS, all that stuff. I'm integral into knowing what this is about, and Alex Grinch hit the nail on the head with a strength coach being the kind of guy who basically runs his own football program. He is like a position coach to others, and you could hear Bennie Owens saying similar things like, look, I am a position coach for the position coaches. Sometimes I'm a go-between. Sometimes I'm able to reach a kid. I'm always around them, even the red shirt guys and the guys that aren't playing a lot because they all got to be in the weight room, and you're going to have that level of relationship with these players. And I think that Brian Odom was able to cultivate those talents before he took on a position coach's job. Now, he just moved to Missouri and took the job there, and he's got a baby boy. So we'll see about what that means for him. But he is a likely candidate. And if you remember just how this went down, you know that Brian Odom is the guy for which Oklahoma really loved in 2001, was a great player, special teams, moved over to Southeastern, and then began his career as a coach. So those are guys to keep your eyes on. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.